A complex rescue operation has succeeded in freeing an entangled whale in Sydney Harbour. It was first sighted in waters between Manly and Camp Cove late yesterday. The National Parks and Wildlife Service attempted to free the whale until the search was suspended due to poor light. Rescue efforts resumed this morning and the whale was eventually released. Dr. Vanessa Perotta is a marine scientist and she says the whale may have been trapped for some time before it was spotted.
Well, the reality is we don't know how it became entangled. It could have potentially been entangled for a lot longer than what we knew about. But thankfully, thanks to citizen scientists and observations from people through Orca, we were able to see and locate this individual yesterday. Now, this whale was one of many or thousands humpback whales just doing its normal thing, its migration. And whenever you have whale presence as well as fishing gear presence, sometimes through curiosity or just overlap, we have seen an entanglement in fishing gear, and it's quite awful. In this case, I'm smiling so much because it has just been disentangled. And for those who don't know, whale entanglement can look quite different. And so I've kind of got a little prop here thanks to Winston, my humpback whale, and showing you, in this case, what the entanglement was kind of like. So it was around the tail, which meant that the whale could swim, which is a good thing, but authorities, in order to help it, and this is a collaborative effort with New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Services, as well as their large whale disentanglement team, New South Wales Maritime, as well as Indigenous rangers like the Gamay Rangers, all assisting, and they were able to put buoys on the whale to help and assist it slow down. So it's kind of weird. You've got an animal that's entangled and yet you want to put more things on it? That doesn't sound right, but it really helps because if the animal slowed down, and even what I just saw, you could see the whale where it is because it was swimming underwater and all you could see was the buoys. So really helpful. And in this case, the whale has successfully been disentangled, which means the line has come off the whale. And hopefully, with the helicopter going out to sea, that's that whale going back on the humpback highway, which is good news.
Such good news. It's okay from what you can tell, Vanessa, because it would have been distressing for it to be entangled in the first place. And then, of course, to have people helping to free it, but, you know, people near it.
Absolutely. So is the whale okay? I hope. I don't really know. The reality is this animal has been through a huge ordeal. Being entangled in fishing gear is an awful thing, but then having boats, drones in the busiest harbour on earth, Sydney Harbour, it's just incredible to see where this has just unfolded. So it is no doubt very fatigued. And one of the things I did here is because when I was so close to it on land, you could, when they come up to take a breath, they go, and I've seen this with a few whales, exhaustion kind of was most likely kicked in with this whale. And so the sound that I heard as it breathes was this woo sound. So it's like the woo, like, oh, I'm exhausted. But it's just pure observations that I'm relaying here. And I mean, if you have something entangled around your body, you're not used to this, and then you have boats, helicopters, drones, there's a lot going on. And why this whale chose to stay in the harbour, I mean, it's really good for us, because it stayed in one spot because unfortunately the GPS tracker came off. But being able to relocate it today in the harbour was, in my opinion, just gold, because it meant that this whale was saying, well, in other words, this whale was wanting, well, I don't know if it was wanting help, but it stayed close. We're able to find it because if it went onto the humpback highway, it could have been like looking for a needle in a haystack. Even though this whale is the size of a small bus, it could be quite tricky to see. So we've had a really good success story here, and credit goes to New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Service, their large whale disentanglement team, as well as New South Wales Maritime, a fantastic effort keeping people at bay, as well as the Gamay Rangers who also assisted, who have been trained up collaboratively with New South Wales National Parks Service, as well as Orca as well, who had people around the place keeping an eye out for this whale. So very much a collaborative effort, but highlighting the risks that these whales do face in Australian waters and globally, which is whale entanglement.